Alright, good morning everyone. Today is Friday, July 6th, 2012. I'm going to go over the trades we took in the live trading room, the trades we didn't take, and everything else about it. Let's start with the results. The NQ were up 4 ticks, the YM were down 7 ticks, the ES were break even, and Crude were down 22 ticks. So we had a rough morning with Crude today. That said, let me go over again what I just said about Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, we were only going for a half an hour Tuesday morning because it was an early close on Tuesday. And we made 32 ticks on Crude Tuesday morning, and I believe we lost 9 ticks on the NQ. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to go back and look, but I did make a recap for that as well. All right, so you have the results for today. Now we'll go through the trades fairly quickly here, okay? On the ES, there were a bunch of setups. We only took one trade, and we got a break even on it. Where was it? This is a 50,000 contract. We need to flip that back to a 10,000 contract. Yeah. Give me just a second here while I work this out. There we go. 10,000 contract. That is the trade that we had this morning. Okay. On the ES, we only took this one trade this morning. We had a few trades that set up. There was this one that I missed, this one that I missed, this one that I missed, and this one that I took. I got a break even on this trade. Once it went down, it was held in by the MA1. I moved my stop up to break even. It was at plus 4 or 5 ticks right down here. At the time, it did go down to the weekly trading zone, and right now it seems to be bouncing off the zone. That was it over there. On the YM, I did take a trade over here on the YM somewhere. Here it was. I took a long trade right here, and I got stopped out on it. I took a short trade right here. And how did I end up with minus 7 ticks? I took a short trade right here, and I took some profit on it. I think there was another one that I must have stopped out on. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. I stopped out on this one. I took a long trade here, and I stopped out on it. I took a short trade here, and I took a break even on it. I took a long trade here, and I stopped out. I took a short trade here, and I took some profit. I took a short trade here, and I took a little bit of profit. All right, now let me just actually walk through the individual setups here. The first one, we had a bullish cross right here. We were right up above the weekly trading zone. Price pulled back down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close, and we had some bullish divergence down here on the bottom. Okay. I went long, and I stopped out, minus 7 ticks. The next one over here, we had bearish divergence right here. Okay, price came back up, tested the BBC, gave a down close. I went short there, and once we closed down below the MA1, I moved my stop to break even, and I got out at break even. The next one here, I probably shouldn't have done this as it was going right into the weekly trading zone. But right there, bullish divergence, tested the BBC with the up close. I went long, it stopped me out. It reversed, gave the bearish divergence here, tested the BBC and a down close. I took some profit on that. Did it again right here, and I took some profit on that. And that, I believe, was all that I did this morning. There was just recently one right here. Got a bullish cross, tested the BBC with an up close with the bullish divergence, and that would have put you positive on the morning. All right. The ES, I just went over. The NQ, I had 3 trades on the NQ. This was my first one right here. I went short right here. You see we had the bearish divergence. Tested the BBC with a down close. I went short there. I missed this one right here by a tick. I took this one over here, and I lost 8 ticks on that one. I took this one here, same thing. Tested the BBC with a down close. I took a little profit on that. I missed the next one, which was right there. And let's see, were there any more? Nope. That was it on the NQ this morning. Crude oil. Let's look at crude. Crude has been my nemesis today. Usually crude is really good for me, but today crude was just not good for me. Let's see. Here we go. Starting off the morning, right here was an opportunity with a little bit of bearish divergence for a little bit of profit. Then it was just whipping back and forth in here. We didn't have any divergence in the right places all along until we got right here. We just had a little tiny bit of divergence right there. tested the BBC with a down close. I missed that one. I took this one. We had a bearish cross, tested the BBC with a down close with some bearish divergence. I took that and stopped out. I missed that one and that one. Okay, I will go through this all. Let me just buzz right through here, okay? And then I'll go through them all a little slower. All right, I guess I could do it right here. All right, the first thing I look for is price to get up above. When I'm looking for a long trade, I look for price to get up above the BBC, okay, the BBC and the MA1. When it does that, I look for it to pull the MA1 above the BBC and the MA1. At some point, it's going to stop and pull back. Now, when it starts to pull back toward the BBC, then I start to look for divergence down here. Okay, I look for the green line to pull away from the cycle portion of the slingshot. I look for this green line to pull away from it. That's the divergence. When that happens, the market is looking for some area of support. That area of support is usually the BBC. Okay, so it tests the BBC and it gives an up close. So the market starts moving back in the original direction. This one right here I happened to take this morning. I went long right there and took profit up there. Okay, it did it again right here, did the same exact thing. It moved up, it came back, looked for some area of support, found it here, then moved back in the same direction. I missed this one, but we did have the divergence again there. Okay, it did it again right here, but we had lost the divergence down here on the bottom by that time. Okay, over here it did it in the opposite direction. I did not take this. It got really choppy right in here. I think we had natural gas came out right about here. It got really choppy and I wasn't really watching it too closely here. You can see right here there was another one. We had the cross down, price stopped, came back up looking for an area of resistance, found it at the BBC, closed back down in the same direction while we had the bearish divergence. Okay, that's right in there. You could have done it again right in here if you wanted to. Once the cycle starts to move up out of the oversold area, then it's not as good of a trade setup. All right. There was another one right here that was only good for a few ticks right there. Okay, you see we had the bullish divergence. Price moved up, came back down, found support at the BBC, moved back up in the direction, and then it kind of got stuck there. I took these two trades right at the end of the morning session, and they both stopped out on me in opposite directions. I went short on this one and long on this one. So this whipping around that happened right there was what really put me down the majority of the points that I was down this morning. Okay, I was positive at one point on the morning. I was up a little bit, but I ended up losing 22 ticks on that. Right here, if you look at this, we had bearish divergence right here. It tested the BBC and gave a down close. Then it made this big move up. Didn't give us any opportunity. Made a big move down. Right here, there was some opportunity. Right there. Okay, now this is beyond the morning session. There was a trade I took right here that stopped me out. Let's see, moving through all this, it was really nothing that was any good, even all the way through right to here. The cycle's really headed down right here. So right now we have bearish divergence. So here's a trade right here. Bearish divergence, testing the BBC. We have a bearish cross. So what we would look for is a down close here. Okay, that's what we would look for. Okay, and that, my friends, was my morning. Let me stop the recording